Verano from Prague, Czech Republic. In our last video, we took an overnight train all the way from Milan to Prague, which almost didn't happen because there's just a national strike tomorrow.
Yeah?
Here in Italy, yeah. In this video, we'll be recapping our one-week adventures with Nate's family. This is Nate's mom, Lori, and his stepdad, John. And they're taking their first international trip in a few years to visit us in Prague for our holiday celebration.
Oh, it's time for Christmas. Oh, it's time for us. Oh, it's time for Christmas. Don't you know?
Normally, we would go back to my hometown of Madison, Wisconsin to see family for the holidays. But this year, we figured we would mix our love of travel with an adventure to the Czech Republic. The one caveat is we knew we'd have to figure out a way to bring Christmas to Prague because my mom goes crazy for the holidays. Like, the entire house is decorated. There's not a wall that is missed. There's not a countertop place without something on it. And there's just cookies everywhere. So that's like the one thing we knew we had to do if they were to leave the house. Very big day. My parents are in town, in Prague. But the plan is this: we are going out and trying to find decorations so that we can decorate our Airbnb, and we are doing our best to find the right store to get like everything and fast because they're here in like 3 hours and we still have to move Airbnbs.
Found it.
Boom.
How are you?
What? Fine.
Really? We are rushing against the clock because we can check in at 2 and we're trying to decorate before then, so 1:15 now, and gotta walk back home, load everything up, grab an Uber, go check in.
Okay, it is almost midnight and we couldn't pull everything off before my parents got here because we were in a mad dash to get checked into the Airbnb, but the host here was very kind and a very detailed walkthrough with the check-in of the Airbnb, at which point my parents arrived.
Hi, sweetie. Oh.
Aww.
So there was no decorating, but we asked our Airbnb host a good place to find a tree earlier today, and he came through in a massive way. And he gave us his Christmas tree. Just had it in storage, so we're using that. Way better than anything we would have found. And yeah, we're just using whatever decorations we got today, which is here. Okay, let's do this. Okay, we got the tree decorated and then candy. My family loves candy and they like the little stuff like this. And then we have lights going all through this beam and down here, more candy. What day is it?
Nate says his family likes candy.
They do.
He likes candy.
But I'm part of their family. It's not my fault. It's genetics.
One of the main reasons we chose Prague is because the Christmas markets are supposed to be next level, and we knew it would be perfect for Lori to get some shopping in and just to experience Europe for the first time in such a magical setting.
Oh, there's Matt.
Unfortunately, with the state of the pandemic at the end of 2021, most of the Christmas markets were canceled, especially the big one in Old Town Square. But we were able to find a couple of really small Christmas markets just to get a small taste of the delicious food and warm drinks.
The warm drinks were like very important because it was quite cold.
Oh, wow.
it's snowing and it's so, oh my God, it's so cold. I was not expecting that. Oh.
For us, at least, my parents were like, this is warm.
Okay.
My parents, understandably, were very, very much hit by jet lag. Like, to the point where I think they got in at like 1 or 2 in the afternoon. My mom fell asleep, got up at like 6 p.m. and started getting ready because she thought it was the next morning. It was hilarious. But we wanted to make sure the first day out in Prague was kind of low key. So we went to Old Town Square, where they have like the main Christmas tree in the square. It's huge and it's absolutely beautiful. And the Astronomical Clock.
The last time I was in Prague was in 2018, and unfortunately the Astronomical Clock was under restoration, so I wasn't able to see it then, but it was alive and well this time, and it was such a cool experience. These little characters or figurines come out and do a parade around the clock. There's bells, there's music. It is an entire show, and you will know when it's about to happen when you see the crowd forming at the bottom of the clock. And we went on a really cool horse and carriage ride around town. It was a nice way to get cozied up with the blankets and drink our hot chocolate and coffees.
It was amazing. Probably the most memorable part of Prague was seeing the largest castle complex in Europe, the Prague Castle. You see it from everywhere in town. It is literally the focal point. And then when you're up next to it, it is hugely humbling, just like craning your neck to see the entire castle.
Luckily, Prague has a really good public transportation system, and it's above ground, which makes it even more fun. It's these really cool old school streetcars, and they take you right up to the Prague Castle, which is great because it's at the top of a very steep hill. And once there is a ton to see and do, including the St. Vitus? God, how do you say that? Hello, play the freaking video.
St. Vitus Cathedral.
St. Vitus.
Including St. Vitus Cathedral, Old Royal Palace, Golden Lane, and the changing of the guard.
No trip to Prague is complete without crossing the Charles Bridge. It's a pedestrian-only bridge with beautiful Gothic statues, vendors, and beautiful views of the river and, of course, Prague Castle. And since it is so popular, you're almost never going to see it empty. It is filled with people walking, running, and just hanging out every day of the week.
Next, we headed over to the Lenin Wall, which is a really cool wall with a ton of graffiti and street art of John Lennon and Beatles songs. You can even write your name on it if you bring your own Sharpie. The wall started before the 1980s in the communist area. Beatles songs were actually banned, and if you listened to them, you went to prison. And when John Lennon died in the 80s...
I don't remember hearing that part. Keep going.
And when John Lennon died in the 80s, this wall became a tribute to him as everybody poured out their mourning and love for the Beatles and John Lennon, and it's really a symbol of freedom.
And then there's the Petrine Tower, which is essentially an Eiffel Tower lookalike, with one huge difference. They didn't have the actual budget to build something as tall and vast as the Eiffel Tower, so they just built a smaller Eiffel Tower and just threw it on top of a hill. And it is the exact same height as the Eiffel Tower because it's on top of the hill. And to get to the top of the hill, we took a cable car, which was awesome because we got to sit back, relax, and take in some amazing views of Prague.
Got me right in the butt.
One of my favorite nights of the whole trip was this beautiful river cruise that we did. It's normally a sunset cruise, but since the sun sets so early in winter, we had a night cruise, and it was so peaceful and beautiful seeing all the twinkling lights along the river and being able to see the castle up on the hill, and the food was absolutely delicious. On our last day in Prague, we tried to visit the Jewish Quarter, which has a really cool museum, but we didn't account for the fact that everything is closed in the Jewish Quarter on Sundays. So instead, we headed up to Letna Park, which overlooks the city, and you're able to see why Prague is the land of 1,000 spires. There's also a massive metronome that you can see from Old Town Square and just some beautiful walking paths.
And that was it for our time in Prague, and it just went so fast. But it was so amazing and so nice to travel with my family for the first time. And we hope we made a case to my parents to travel with us again. We felt like Prague was the perfect setting, and I think all of us realized why Alicia fell in love with the city the way she did 2 years prior. And we hope you enjoyed seeing it through our eyes, and if you did, hit the like button below, and if you want to stamp your passports with us again,
make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Off to another country.
good night.
I'm taking a nap.
Okay.
I've had a lot of chocolate today.
That was close.
Ramble, ramble, ramble. I had a Red Bull right before this. I think it's finally hitting me.
I would have to.
Don't turn it off, baby. I've been a lot of places you haven't been, boy.
This is over.